Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for our last dearly departed review of the season. It is all over. 38 Premier League rounds, all played for our dearly departed. 3 of them relegated, sadly. But well done, Leeds and Villa, flying that flag in the middle of the table. And we now know that not only will it be Norwich and Watford joining Leeds and Villa next season on Dearly Departed, it's either going to be Swansea or Brentford in the Championship play-off final. Keep your eyes peeled for that one. This won't be the last Dearly Departed show of the season. We've got our teams of the season and things of that nature to do. So, it may get taken over by the England squad announcement tomorrow, but we will crack on with that. Speaking of cracking on, let's get into this last round of games. Only 4 because of the dearly departed derby between Leeds and West Brom, of course. Before we get to those fixtures, we've got to say thank you to Jay Coyle. And if you're a regular watcher of the show, not only will you be familiar with Jay, who's sponsored the show all season, you'll be familiar that he normally has a picture of Rafinha there. But lovely gesture by Jay, I think. He's gone for a picture of Pablo Hernandez. I think we can call him the great Pablo Hernandez. And Gaetano Berardi there. Jay is our fan sponsor. Dearly departed, also known as Ben. Couldn't bear to lose us. Absolutely not, Jay. Let's have a look at the fixtures, the results even, for round 38. Nice end of term feel. We always say it, don't we? Tons of goals and mistakes on the last day of the season. On the beach, on the beach, on the beach. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0, which actually does have some relevance for our Leeds friends in the end. We'll talk about that when we look at the final table for sure. Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 1. Villa finished the season with back-to-back wins. Great news. We knew they were going to finish in 11th place already, but a nice little end to the season for Villa. Fulham 0, Newcastle 2, another defeat for Fulham. Off they go into the summer now, and a lot of sorting out to do, one would assume. Leeds 3, West Brom 1. Leeds really, I'm not going to say final running brilliant. It's been a long time now. On the Leeds review I did yesterday, 23 points in the last 10 games. Brilliant. Leicester 2, Spurs 4. Leicester missed the Champions League. Liverpool 2, Palace 0. Liverpool don't. Manchester City 5, Everton 0. They are the champions. They have been confirmed as champions for a while. Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0. Sheffield United finished with over 20 points. They finished with 6 points from the last 3 games. Boom. West Ham 3, Southampton 0. West Ham got to be up there. Leicester, West Ham, as well as our friends Leeds, have got to be up there for the overachievers of the season, haven't they? Wolves 1, Manchester United 2. Manchester United were always going to finish second, weren't they? And, as ever, we will go from highest ranked game to lowest ranked game, which does mean Leeds one more time are going first. And it was Leeds 3, West Brom 1. And lots of lasts here. The last Premier League game for West Brom, the last dearly departed derby of the season, the last games for Pablo Hernandez and Gaetano Berardi, who both get a start. And there was me thinking that Marcelo Bielsa did everything by the numbers, but the man has a very big heart as well and gives them both a game. Berardi and Hernandez. Again, a couple of people said this when I spoke about Hernandez. This is not a zero-sum game. It's just that Hernandez has been such a great player for Leeds. We're not forgetting about Berardi, but it's different levels, isn't it? And I know he's a bit of a cult figure there. So, Casilla in goal. We knew he was going to finish the season. Berardi gets the start. Ayling and Cooper. Not entirely sure about that team shape, but we'll just read it as it is. I'd assume pop Rafinha forward a little bit in the 3-3-3-1. So we'll assume that that's the case. Let's not argue about it. It's the end of the season. Alioski, Phillips and Dallas. Rafinha, Harrison with Pablo Hernandez starting for the last time for Leeds. What a player. Rodrigo up top. Pat Bamford, I believe, had started all 37 games and doesn't get the full set 38. Rodrigo makes the start. He's going to score again. And we should talk about West Brom, who are another of our dearly departed teams. The big story for them this week is that, Big Sam is not going to be there next season. So I'm sure, we know they would have liked to have kept him there. And a bit of sorting out to do. Had been a trend up toward the end of the season. And a lot of people, me included, thought, okay, Big Sam, year one parachute payment. That looks all right for next season. Now, new manager going to be going in there. Keep your eyes peeled on that one. Johnston in goal. O'Shea, Bartley, Ajayi, centre-halves. Furlong, Townsend, wing-backs, full-backs. Gallagher, Yokuslu, Maitland, Niles, Robinson and Phillips up top. Here are the goals. Going to be 3-1 to Leeds. And it's poor from West Brom, isn't it? They conceded pretty much exactly the same goal in the last game against West Ham. And it's just a corner whipped in from the left-hand side. If Rodrigo's not going to put it in, I think Harrison's going to put it in, despite a nice little shove in the back from Conor Gallagher, you can see. But Rodrigo, excellent. He's got his fitness. He's been scoring freely toward the end of the season. Good signing. Again, I've done the Leeds season review and we go chapter and verse on that. 1-0 there, Rodrigo with the goal. And, lovely to see Calvin Phillips scoring a goal. A tweet of mine went viral earlier in the season where Graham Souness, for me, completely ridiculously said, Phillips needs to add goals to his game. And I thought, you literally have never seen Leeds play, have you? And I was kind of thinking, if Phillips never ever scores for Leeds, but does what he normally does, Marcelo Bielsa would probably be overjoyed that he's never scored because he's making the play in a different position. He does get a goal here. And Sam Johnstone, who's been excellent all season, really, he just gets caught by the bounce. It's an all right free kick, isn't it, over the wall? But, yeah, it's poor from Johnston. Bounces in front of him. Great to see Phillips score because he's obviously an excellent player and will most likely be in the Euros squad, won't he? But, yeah, two things can be true. Happy for Phillips, but Johnston, shame. And that's another one, an England goalkeeper possibly in the squad there. Hopefully he fixes himself up if he is going to be anywhere near the England team or training indeed in the coming 2 months. Pat Bamford makes it 3-1. Handball from the spot there. Bamford sticks it down the middle, doesn't he, in the second half. Outstanding. 17 goals, I think I am right in saying. That's just so good, isn't it? So good. We said about Bamford so often, not even this season, but going into last season. Leeds will create plenty of big chances. Just score the high percentage chances. He's gone over and above that this season. He's been superb and he will most likely be the starting striker going forward for a long while for Leeds. You would imagine injury willing. So great season for Bamford. 3-0. A bit of a mistake here. And how Robson Kanu's going to make it 3-1 at the end of the game. So no clean sheet. West Brom sign off with a goal. Small mercies for them as they head to the Championship. Here are the numbers. Open, to say the least. 31 shots, 14 on target. 2 big chances to 1 for Leeds. I feel the need after an Aston Villa fan completely didn't understand what we do here to reiterate that I'm reading out stats from SofaScore. They have a definition for big chance. That does not constitute my opinion on the running of the game. Okay? And any disagreement should be sent in triplicate, a strongly worded letter to SofaScore. And if you find yourself getting emotional about whether a website defines something as a big chance or not, there's probably not much going on for you. And maybe look to other avenues. But yes, We do have to say this every now and then. In the main, the comments are great, though, aren't they? There's the XG again. Don't get emotional about the XG, for God's sakes. It's a probability stat. 2.38 to 1.12 for Leeds. Look at those big white blobs. Obviously, two of them are the goals, the penalty and the Rodrigo header. But looks like a viable win for Leeds in the dearly departed derby at the end of the season. If the numbers are anything to go by. Always have to throw that in there, don't ya? There's the table. Brilliant stuff. Leeds finished 9th, 59 points, which is more than Sheffield United. Leeds fans were at pains to tell me yesterday in the review video I did. So the season review is up on Leeds. Brilliant stuff. 59, 9th place. Go and watch that elsewhere on the channel, have you say. But big picture, fantastic, and watch the season review. And yeah, end of term. Bring your toys. Hernandez, Berardi, Cressey in the starting lineup, and they still get the job done. Ending the season, Leeds 4 straight victories. Fantastic. West Brom, well, they were a long way off it in the end, weren't they? 13 points off Burnley. You can see 4 straight defeats to end the season. I think, were they relegated 2 games ago or 3 games ago? I can't quite remember, but plenty to do. And job number 1, hire a manager for West Brom. It's fairly straightforward. Job number 2, try and persuade Pereira to stay. I think nice to see Dean Garner back off the bench and get him ready for the Championship, because he bossed it as well. I've had my say, you have yours. Get your comments in below. Leeds 3, West Brom 1. And Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 1. Chelsea, well, they get that 4th spot in the end, much due to a bit of a Leicester collapse on the final day, you have to say, against Spurs. But Villa win against Champions League finalists, FA Cup finalists, Champions League qualifying top 4 side, Chelsea. When we look at the numbers, it could have gone quite differently, but with our dearly departed hats on, we'll take the win for Villa. And as I said at the top of the show, back-to-back wins to finish the season. 11th place, 55 points. Good job, I say. Martinez in goal. Konza, Hawes, Mings, Target. Konza playing right back there, covering Matty Cash. You can see he's out down the bottom there. McGinn, Nakamba, so no Douglas Luiz. Traore, Grealish at 10. El Ghazi left, Watkins up top. For Chelsea, Mendy, James, Silva, Rudiger, Chilwell, Azpilicueta, Jorginho, Kovacic, Pulisic, Mount, and Werner. Plenty of star power in that team. But there is Bertrand Traore. Now, if he means this to go exactly where it goes, it's a brilliant goal. Short corner, you can see the old Teddy Sheringham, Darren Anderton corner. It loops up a little bit, which makes me think maybe it just kinks up off the pitch before he hits it. And it flies in the top corner, bar in. It looks fantastic, actually. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Great goal by Traore for 1-0. And that's Traore again, isn't it? Just steps inside Jorginho, dangling leg. Penalty. El Ghazi, who looks like he's falling over just after sticking that one in. Who's been damn reliable from the penalty spot, hasn't he? El Ghazi, brilliant. Was it Watkins who missed a couple earlier in the season? I can't quite recall. I remember a game at West Ham we covered. I don't know. It's been a long season. 2-0. Chelsea get one back. Chilwell arriving on the back post. Martinez, who's kept most things out this season, can't keep that one out. Just heads behind the line. And just to help Villa out, 10 men for Chelsea toward the end of the game. It's Azpilicueta. Well, he's trying to grab hold of the ball, free kick. He kind of flaps his arm out. I guess by the laws, I know they suggest striking an opponent and the force doesn't matter, it's the intent. I don't know. Where are we going with all of this? But yeah, red card and Villa get the win. Excellent job. And you'll see what I mean. Chelsea didn't have their shooting boots on. 7 big chances to 1. Again, that is SofaScore's definition. Any emotional reactions to that should be sent directly to SofaScore and not to me. 3.66 on the XG to 1.09. 23 shots to Chelsea. So I think even the most hardened Villa fan would suggest that on the basis of those numbers, not the eye test, on the basis of those numbers, they've had a good afternoon, haven't they, Villa, to get the 3 points, and Chelsea maybe a little bit hapless with their finishing. Could have had a slightly different afternoon. Who cares? Villa finish 11th. They were always going to finish 11th. But 55, that's nice. And I think that also beats the Sheffield United total for last season, but obviously 2 places lower. Chelsea finishing there up in 4th. Well done to them, and good luck in the Champions League final. I know we don't tend to draw in many opposition fans here, but if there are any Chelsea fans watching, good luck. Godspeed in the Champions League final there. Here is the table, of course. Should have flashed it up, shouldn't I? Villa, excellent job. I will keep my powder dry because I have done all the prep for my Villa season review, and assuming my throat holds out after yelling at some playoff games all weekend, I'll try and get that done straight after this before we go to our live streamed playoff review here. So, big picture, great job by Villa across the season. Small picture, maybe could have gone another way this one, but they get the win and they will happily take it. And we move on and look out for that season review for Aston Villa. I've had mine, so you have yours. Get involved in the comments. Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 1. And look at what you could have won. Fulham 0, Newcastle 2. I had this slated about 3 months ago. This is the one. This is going to be the dramatic end of day relegation survival shootout on the last day. No. As it happens, Newcastle have finished 17 points above Fulham. And I will reiterate a stat that I've said many, many times. When Fulham went to Villa, we did it on the watch-along, and Mitrovic gave them the lead. Fulham were above Newcastle for that 10 minutes or whatever it was on the live table. And, one team's gone one way. And well done, Newcastle. And one team has just gone the other. Fulham just died a death at the end of the season, didn't they? And relegation confirmed a few games ago. 11 points off Burnley. And, Newcastle finishing with 45 points, which is quite the one in the eye for some Newcastle fans. And great job by Steve Bruce for sure. There are the teams. Ruddock in goal for Fulham. No Areola. Tete, Adrabio. Reeve is back as well. Are these guys coming in next season? Bobby Reid, Joe Bryan, Onoma, Anguissa, Carvalho, Lookman, Cavaliero. Will that be his team next season? Some of those players? Ruddock, I'm thinking. Adrabio's there full time. Reid, Onoma, Bryan. These players are coming back into the side for a reason, I think. Newcastle, Dubravka, Murphy, Krath, Fernandez, Dummett and Ritchie, Willock, Shelvey and Longstaff, Almiron and St. Maximin is the starting 11 for Newcastle. Let's have a look at the goals. And there is the opener. How good has he been? Joe Willock drives forward to the edge of the box, gets a little bit of a nice rebound, but then, as he's done terribly well of late, sticks it in the corner with his right foot. 1-0 Newcastle. And Matt Ritchie, that is inside the penalty box, by the way. You can just see the penalty spot in the background, can't you? Kenny Tete, bit too close for comfort. Ritchie tries to knock the ball across the box, and he just catches him. Excuse me. Here comes Kraft, cool as a cucumber, sits Ruddock down, and you can see he just strokes it in the corner there, and that is 2-0 to Newcastle. Not a lot in this one, but look at that big stat for Fulham. No shots on target from 14 shots. Very interesting, actually. heard Alex Ferguson, who's obviously promoting this movie that's coming out, saying that he admired Parker and the fact that they kept to their beliefs. And I guess this is another example, keeping to their beliefs, but yeah, just either execution or quality a little bit short for sure. And Newcastle, well, doing the damage, aren't they? 36 possession, but 2 on the big chances and 1.62 on the XG. Playing the penalty boxes and Steve Bruce, and particularly when he has some Maximan fit and Willock in the starting 11 for this run-in, they have done the business for sure, haven't they? There's the table. Yeah, well done Newcastle. 45. Brilliant end-of-season run for them. And for Fulham, well, 28 points, well under the point per game. Point per game wouldn't have kept you up this season, would it? If you look at Burnley with 39 in 17th place. But look, Fulham, we've discussed. The end-of-season review was done a couple of weeks ago after relegation was confirmed. So I think we may be in danger of labouring the point there, and we will move on and think about Fulham next season. Remember, Fulham fans, I'll be covering chapter and verse Fulham in the Championship next season. So do keep subscribed. I've had my say, now you have yours. Get your thoughts in the comments. Fulham 0, Newcastle 2. And finally, Sheffield United going out with a victory and going out with 2 victories in the last 3. So they finished with 23 points, which is a little bit more desirable than being still in the teens there. And they beat Burnley 1-0 in this one. Ramsdale, Basham, Egan, Robinson, Stevens, Bulldog, Norwood, Fleck, Osborne, McGoldrick, Jebison starts again. And I suppose for our dearly departed teams in the bottom 3, it's good that they stopped Burnley getting over the 40-point mark and kept the gap down at least to 11 points. And yeah, Sheffield United didn't finish that far off Fulham and West Brom in the end, did they? There is your Burnley team. Norris, Loughton, Tarkowski, Dunn, Taylor, McNeil, Cork, Westwood, Goodmanson, Brownhill and Chris Wood. Here is the goal in this one. And people who've watched David McGoldrick like I have over the years, we had him at Ipswich for 5 years, will know he is a very, very talented player. And sometimes he'll miss easy chances that look easy. And then he'll do stuff like this, where so silky, so good, driving in and finds it, fires it in the corner. I think it's great that he's managed to get a Premier League run, McGoldrick. And I suspect he may still be an important player for Sheffield United next season. I think he might have been voted their Player of the Year again, McGoldrick, which he was, I think, when they got promoted as well. I'm trying to remember. Blades fans will correct me, but great goal by McGoldrick finding the corner. The only goal of the game. Burnley did force a couple of chances toward the end, but look, not much in this. No big chances in the game by the SofaScore definition. 0.66 to 0.78 on the XG, and the shot map doesn't teach us a great deal, does it? These are the games that Sheffield United were winning last season, and sort of a couple of clean sheets and wins in the last 3 games. Obviously, context is king, and a few teams have kind of let up a little bit. But yeah, where was that? If that's a fair question, particularly defensively, where was that many times this season? The table obviously doesn't make good reading for Sheffield United. 23, bottom of the league. Actually, look, won 2 more games than West Brom and Fulham. But remember, when we were coming here week after week earlier in the season, I got 29 defeats. They just lost over and over again in tight games, fine margins, didn't they? Burnley, well, Burnley do what Burnley do. They get a point per game, just one above it with 39, and they survive. Sean Dyche, linked with the Palace job, won't he? We'll see how that one pans out. That would really be the end of an era at Burnley, but Burnley, as ever, have been a tough opponent for our dearly departed teams, and I can't recall the results off the top of my head, but certainly I don't think any of our bottom 3 fared very well against Burnley, and That would have been the thing to reel them in, wouldn't it? And they've just kept them at arm's length, haven't they? Sheffield United need themselves a new manager. Keep your eyes on that. And, yes, going to be an interesting summer. Slavisa Jokanovic, big link there. Again, keep your eyes peeled. We're into rumour and innuendo here. Aren't we? I've had my say, you have yours in the comments. Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0. And that is our show. And that is our season. Thank you to J. Coyle, dearly departed, also known as Ben. Couldn't bear to lose us. And there's a little tribute to Hernandez and Berardi of Leeds. Thank you, everybody, for keeping with me all season. It's been great. We conceived this idea mainly because of actually Sheffield United fans. When Sheffield United got promoted in 18-19, obviously running the Championship channel, all of a sudden having all this interaction, and I stopped covering them and it disappeared, and we decided to do this show. I think it's been a good success. Obviously, Sheffield United fans, West Brom fans, Fulham fans, welcome back into the Championship, and Leeds fans and Villa fans, make the Norwich, Watford, and either Swansea or Brentford fans very welcome next season as we continue with Dearly Departed. As I suggested, we'll do a couple of teams of the season in the next few days. Should be a good bit of fun, and I'll get the Villa review up very, very soon. Thank you, everybody, for watching all season. That is our last Dearly Departed review show, and it's the last time I'm going to say over and out on one of these shows this season. Over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button, and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.